when asked about the most important thing in life, in a big survey in all countries, family was number 2. Can anybody guess what was number 1? Not health, but football. And we were armed with this hypothesis. We said, this can't be true. Let's go to the mecca of football and test the man on the street. Is football the most interesting thing out there?
What's most important, the internet or Barcelona's football club?
Barcelona, definitely. The internet is important, but Barcelona is fascinating.
Football club, Barcelona Football Club.
Barcelona Football Club, that's for sure.
The football Barcelona club.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I love Barcelona.
What's most important, football or internet?
Internet.
That's a internet. That's a hard one. Football.
Football is more important.
Thank you. So the girls are always smarter. Say internet, you still know. Football. Yeah. So it's with great pride I invite one of my favorite entrepreneurs up on stage. He has not only started more than 10 companies, won every award worth winning, being sort of one of the most highly respected internet geek, super entrepreneurs. He's also on the board of Barcelona FC, and he's taking their community of, I think it's 34 million people. I thought it was 24, I asked last week. Now it's 34 million people to newer heights. So please, warm round of applause for Dídac Lee. Dídac, please have a seat. I'll give you a hug. You're my favorite. Welcome up on stage and sit down. So, did you know that people on the street like Barcelona Foot Club even more than the internet?
Well, that's great for us, but I think the most important things, not football or internet, are the pretty girls. And here in Barcelona, we have a lot of them.
Yeah, and you, I want to start out with entrepreneurship in you. You've started a lot of companies. And why do you start companies? How did you become an entrepreneur? And what's sort of the driver behind your entrepreneurship?
Firstly, I didn't want to become an entrepreneur. My dream was to be a football player.
Okay.
Yeah, a Barça football player. But I was very bad. I cannot even play in my school team, in the second school team. So I decided to quit, to pivot myself. And I was a very fan, well, I am a great fan of Mazinger Z, Mazinger, I don't know in English. It's robots and about some scientists that create robots. And my dream was to create innovative products and sell them worldwide. It's why I was a kid. I was 10 years old and started with my Commodore 64. Do you remember?
Yeah. You could play tennis, really exciting games. Yeah.
I started to create my first, program my first games and start to deal with that games. And I started like that. Then I went to the university. I went to the engineering school. But when I started to spend so much time learning about maths and physics and very interesting things, subjects, like that, I said, well, this is not for me. Then I quit and I started my first business.
And what business was that?
I started one of the first ISPs in Girona, the place that I live. We are 100 kilometers to Barcelona. And ISP is an internet service provider. You pay a monthly fee and you get internet access.
And when was this in time?
95. I was 21 years. I was 21 years. Yes, about 17 years ago.
Many of the other entrepreneurs, they say they had this just like yourself from very early age. Do you think it's DNA or it's something you can teach people? Or is it an environment that sort of creates entrepreneurs?
I guess there's not a pattern for that. In my case, I hate to get bored, and when I get bored with something, I quit and start another thing. So why I start so many companies.
But then you have to have a very good number two guy, right?
Yes,
because
of
otherwise,
course.
when you
Of
leave the
course,
companies,
of course.
yeah.
Yes, I think all the great teams are with two guys: the guy with the tie and the crazy guy.
Okay.
Yes, I'm not the guy of the tie.
So when you start a company, you look for a guy who's completely different than from yourself?
Of course.
Really? Okay.
Of course,
Yeah.
yes. I think that's a key.
So key takeaway, don't only focus on the entrepreneur, focus on the second person in the company. What are some of the traits you think make a good entrepreneur?
You need to be Superman, you need to be Iron Man, you need to be Hulk. Well, no. I think the most important thing for an entrepreneur is to be a good people manager, to get good people, to convince them to join your project, to motivate them, and to manage them the day by day. That is, manage people is the hardest thing in a startup, in my opinion.
So it's interesting. A lot of people, before you spoke about product and spoke about other things, but the people management skills, how do you know if somebody's good at that?
It's a good question. I follow my guts. My gut feeling, this is good or bad. I guess it's same like when you go to with your friends. With some friends you have more feeling, some friends you have less feeling. I think there's two things important. Should be complementary in skills and compatible in behavior.
Okay.
I think these two important things to take care.
You've always sort of been swimming around the technology in different aspects. What's so fascinating about technology? Why not art or advertising or something else that is creative, music?
I try to be a chemist. I try to be a football player, as I said. I try to be so many things. But I'm so bad at drawing. I'm so bad singing. With the computer, well, I think me with the machine and nobody else. I think technology is fun. It changes so fast every week, every day. There's a lot of new things to come, and that's so exciting. So why I'm so fascinated in technology.
And then the step is fairly long to go to the board of Barcelona and all of a sudden try to make football a digital experience or extend it into the digital sphere. First of all, how do you feel when somebody calls you and asks you that?
Ask me about what?
When somebody calls you up and say, "Hi, do you want to go on the board of Barcelona Football Club?" Do you say, "Let me think a while," or do you say yes?
No, well, it was a long journey to get that. Maybe it's the hardest thing I ever did in my life, because Barcelona is a member-driven club, and Barça belongs to all the members. And there, every 6 years, now it's 4 years, there's some elections, and you have to be elected for be on the board. Normally, the people on the board, they are people from the establishment for the Barcelona society, and they are quite older than me. And they used to be a businessman, or they are people with a strong background. And the chances for a Catalan Chinese guy of Figueras that owns a Chinese restaurant to be
who's on top of that bad at football.
Yes, it was, I think, 1 in 1 million of options. But as you know, sometimes in life dreams come true. And so when I was young, when I realized that I cannot be a football player, I started to want to be on the board, maybe with 10 or 11 years. And when I went to make a pitch in a conference, I said, well, I am an entrepreneur, or I want to be an entrepreneur, and someday I want to be on the board of Barça.
Really?
Yeah. And everybody it was funny. But one day, Philippe Esruda, the partner of Christopher, told me, well, I'll introduce you to the next president of Barça. And he introduced me, and then, and then I get in the 400 people team, And because the members, there's only 20 members of the board, and everybody was full. And then someday there's a vacancy, and Sandro called me. Well, there's a vacancy. Do you want to come? Do you want to join? And it started like that.
And what was your first thoughts? What do you do? Share a little bit. What is Barcelona on the internet, or the football club? What is it on the internet?
Well, I asked Sandro, the president of Barça, I want to take care of the cheerleader department. He said, no cheerleader department. You should be on technology.
It's a kickboxer called Ola handling that department. Sorry.
Yeah, it's for Ola. No, I was kidding. When 2 years ago, yesterday was our second anniversary that we are in the board. The digital environment of Barça was ugly and Soviet website.
Soviet website, that's the new buzzword.
Yeah, I mean, very Soviet or Chinese, but not very. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I hope there's no Sovietics here. And this website was built about 7 years ago, and everything was it was a flat. But I thought that was great because there's a lot of things to do. Because when you come to somewhere that there's nothing, everything should be done. So it was so great challenge for me. And the first thing I did is to renew all the web platform, of course, to start to work on social media. And we were the 5th team in the world in social media. Actually, we are the first. I think it's not for my job, because Barça has a strong...
Pure luck. La suerte, sí, existe.
No, it's not about luck. It's about Leo, it's about Iniesta. I think even
and how many people are members now? What's the accurate figure?
I think we have about 33 million friends on Facebook. We are the #1 in the world in our space. But I think this is quite easy when you have a brand like Barça. I think even my mom can do that, but it should be done, of course.
And what do you see some of the things happening in the future? Do you think that the mobile phone would sort of be a new arena for watching football, or do you think that the stars could have their own worlds on or where is this all going?
Well, our strategy is very simple. We try to generate and to localize our audience in social networks, in local social networks, in like China, and there's no Facebook. There's QQ or Tencent or whatever. We look for our audience. We engage our audience by providing them content, exciting content, and then we monetize selling digital goods like mobile apps or non-digital goods or e-commerce, like jerseys.
So you're actually selling digital goods to Chinese on social network like Barça.
We are trying to.
Yes,
I think we released our Chinese website on just 2 days ago. So we are
starting. Where is Barça most popular apart from here?
Most popular is, I think, #1 is US, #2 is Mexico, #3 is Turkey, and then is China, Japan, and Indonesia, of course. We are growing very, very fast in Indonesia. And I think we can say we are a global brand.
No, it must be one of the largest internet sites coming out of this region of all. Compared to all the companies that are only working with internet services. You guys are kicking footballs, really.
Yeah.
Is that a challenge for you? We heard managers speaking before, or Francesco spoke, that it's difficult with journalists and traditional media to change them. How is it to come into such an iconic company and not being a football guy? You're like, now we're going to do this on the internet. Does everybody embrace it, or is there a lot of hard lifting?
Of course, it's a hard lifting thing, because when you try to do something innovative, doesn't matter if it's Barça or is in IBM or in all the innovative things are hard to implement for the mentality of the people, The people don't like to change. That's a fact.
And what are your best tricks? Do you have any tricks you can share with others that have organizations where they're not
Have you
not
ever
so much?
seen the serial 24, like Jack Bauer?
Yeah.
I feel myself very identified with him, that he's managing a lot of people, different interests, conspirations, and no, it's not that bad. But I think the most important in our case is to try to find the path to monetize, because all the social media, it's very nice, but at the end of the day, it's about show me the money to the CEO. So it's like everything in life.
So it's really the turning all these passion into to euros and cents.
That's right. That's my challenge.
And that's what you're measured by as well.
Not really, no, because there's some part of brand equity that as more we do online, it increase our brand equity. But I think in the world there's 3 organizations with this kind of customer base. That the customers love to buy your products, follow your brand with very passion. I think it's Apple, Barça, or Real Madrid, and the Vatican. There are 3 organizations in the world.
No, but it's...
no, what I mean, we don't have consumers. No? We have fans, we have followers.
I
don't know
if... you have lovers or
lovers, fanatics. I don't know which... we are in a company, we are in a religion. What's this? I don't know.
But you've been described as a restless dreamer. In your entrepreneurship. I think it's a quote by you, actually, that you're a restless dreamer. What do you think that entrepreneurs or change makers need to be restless? That's the first thing. And the thing, do they need to be dreamers?
More than dreamers, I think the most important is to be a doer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I dream. Okay, I just sleep 5 hours per day, so I don't have much time for dream. But the most important is to be a doer. To do a lot of things, to make it happen. That's the key thing.
And how do you become a doer or foster doers in an organization?
I think that there's no magic. There's no magic with this. Confucius, you know Confucius?
Of course, by heart.
He said that if you find a job that you love, you will never have to work a day in your life. I think that's the key thing.
That's beautiful. So it's about finding what you're passionate about, really.
That's right. And because we spend a lot of time on working, but we don't spend time to look for what we love to do.
And you're certainly combining the 2 things, right? You're combining the passion for technology with the passion for making the ball really hit the right place.
That's right.
So is there any sort of last advice if somebody's not doing what they're passionate about, or if somebody's doing what they're passionate about, but really it's not really taking off? They're entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs in the room. What would you is there any one last thing you want to leave in the room?
The Confucius sentence, I think, is the thing, to find what you love and spend all the time working on it. I think that's the best takeaway.
So thank you very much. Give it up for Dídac Lee. Thank you very much.